Hi, good morning and welcome. It's time for today's message from the Morning Man. Now, we all know the difference between right and wrong. It's as clear as the difference between day and night, between black and white. But when it comes to doing the right thing, well, things aren't always so black and white. Sometimes the single step from knowing the right thing to doing the right thing can be the longest, hardest step of all. So many factors combat against our ability to do what we know to be the right thing. Society's expectation, personal gain, fear of loss, fear for safety, all these things can present an extremely strong opposition against a person's desire to do the right thing. Now, in the year 1879, the Asantes were a proud Akan race, much as they are today. The entire Gold Coast had fallen under British control, except for the Asante Kingdom, which was where all the gold was. Now, for almost a century, the British colonialists had tried everything to conquer the Asantes, but not even their superior firepower and advanced weaponry had been sufficient to overrun the stubborn, proud, brave Asantes. And one day, the Gold Coast colonial governor, Frederick Hodgson, managed to round up all the male leaders of the Asante royal families, including the then Asantehene Prempeh I, as well as the Ejisuhene and many other paramount chiefs. They were treated as rebel leaders, terrorists, war criminals, but fully aware of the uncontrollable uprising that would be caused if these kings were executed, the colonial governor decided to exile them to the Seychelles instead. Soon after the exile, the clever governor called a meeting with the remaining Asante leaders and struck a deal with them. Give us the stool and we will release your kings to you. The leaders brought the proposal back for discussion at council level. Now, this was where things started to get hairy. It quickly became clear that on this occasion, defying the British was not going to be as easy as it had been for about a century prior. The elders still knew right from wrong, just as they had known for over a century. They knew how much their forefathers had fought and sacrificed to keep the Brits out for 100 years. They knew how their people were dying for some motivation just to keep their battle spirits up. But how could they continue to defy the Brits now that their leaders had been exiled? I mean, just imagine Ghana at war. The enemy has captured our president, and they say, if we want him back, we should bring our flag. What would we do? And first of all, our leader is gone. The one who would lead us to fight is not there. And the only way to get him back is by doing the wrong thing and surrendering us, the symbol of our freedom. Now, under such pressure, who can blame us for doing the wrong thing, even though we know right from wrong? It's the same pressure we feel today when we violate traffic regulations and the police seize our license, or when university admissions are almost over and we haven't made the grade to qualify, or when we need that permit from the ministries and we haven't met the legal requirements. It is pressure which causes us to consider other options instead of the right option. Now, the Asante leaders in 1900 felt this pressure, and in spite of their history of pride and defiance, were seriously considering handing over the golden stool to the British. That was when Ya Asantewa got up and spoke. Now, she had been made custodian of the stool when her brother, the Ejisuhene, was exiled, along with the Otumfuo, and she was watching her male leaders crumbling under pressure to do the wrong thing. But she was not going to give in without a fight, so she rose and spoke those immortal words that ended with, I must say this, if you, the men of Ashanti, will not go forward, then we will. We, the women, will. We shall call upon my fellow women. We will fight the white men. We will fight till the last of us falls in the battlefields. But she didn't just speak. She backed her words with actions by grabbing a weapon and leading 5,000 Asantes to capture the Kumasi fort and hold it under a long siege that further frustrated the efforts of the Brits to occupy Asante Kingdom. As a result, she too was exiled to the Seychelles, where she later died. My people, this is the first week of Ghana Month on Joy, and every morning for the rest of the week, I'll bring you lessons from the life of a great Ghanaian. This morning, Ya Santua is our great Ghanaian, and her life teaches us several lessons. First, we all know right from wrong. However, the real heroes are those who don't just know what is right, but will stand up for it no matter what. Second, don't just stand up for right, but do right as well. Don't just talk about how bad the police are for taking bribes. Refuse to pay the next time a cop stops you at a checkpoint and asks you for money. Don't just say it, do it. Finally, doing the right thing can sometimes cost you. It might make you lonely. It might turn your own people against you, like it did in the case of Ya Santua. In a society that has become used to doing wrong, choosing right is a sacrifice. But it's a sacrifice we must all make, because this poor, powerless, unconcerned, uneducated, unhealthy, uninspired, corrupt, crisis-filled, debt-riddled, doom-so-darkened Ghana cannot be the best that we are capable of. My name is Kojo Yankson, and like you, I'm a Ghanaian. That means it is our destiny to be great, no matter the personal cost. After all, if we don't do it, who will? Good morning, Ghana folks.